friends, hello and welcome back. Hope everyone is having a lovely day. So we are down to the Pittsburgh, or up to, really, we started from the bottom, up to the Pittsburgh Penguins and our 1 year Stanley points per game pants arena. That's not what that means, but that's great. Anyway, our 1 year Stanley Cup rebuild, where we do anything we possibly can to turn this team into a Stanley Cup winner in just 1 year. This team, an aging team, Crosby, Carlson, Evgeny Malkin. If there's a team that needs to win this very season, it is the Pittsburgh Penguins, and we're going to see what we can potentially do with this team. And the Penguins, a team, here's the beauty of this team being a little bit older, the exception of Carlson, probably a pretty penny, is these guys have been under contract for so long, Crosby and Malkin, that, their contracts were once expensive, but with the cap continuously going up, I mean, they're under some pretty friendly deals for what they're going to produce here. I mean, we got Crosby at 8.5, we got Malkin at 9.8. Where is Carlson? Carlson. Oh, he's up here. He's at 9.8. My mistake. Carlson's at 9.8. Malkin's only at 5.98 million. Oh, we can work with that. We can work with that a lot. 5.8 for Gent, so he's going to be expensive. He wants an extension. Not our problem. We'll make sure he's not getting that money. To say the best. Is he signed? I feel like he signed earlier. Did he sign? Nah, he must not. If he did, he didn't update. Something about that. I'm thinking he signed. Maybe not. Chris Letang, again, 36 years old. Even Gensel's 28 now, man. He's getting up there. I didn't realize he was that old. Ryan Graves getting $4 million. I mean, this is a good team. This is a good team. It's just an old team. The goaltender situation, I mean, we're looking at Tristan Yari. He's at good. Oh, he's good. Ooh. I mean, this is the team. We should be able to make a couple moves and hopefully make a deep run here. They are, again, a buyer right now, of course. The cap space will be an interesting one, but look at that things right now. See, this isn't going to happen, EA. We already know this don't work. I mean, it'd be great if it did, but it won't. We're going to put a Malkin on a second unit. Gensel can play with Crosby. Who's going to put him up there? I mean, if we could get that +5 for the first unit, that would be nice. Right now, it's not looking like it's going to be something that's going to happen, but I think what we can do here, let's take a look at these. Yeah, Brian Russ can go down to the third line. I mean, heck, even Lars Eller could go down to the third line. Lars Eller might be the better option here. And can we bring anybody up here? What was that? Did I see something nice? I thought I'd seen a crooked number there. Can we bring anybody potentially up here? Looking at this team, we have Rickard Rakell, playmaker. That worries me. It always worries me putting around a playmaker down there. How's the defense look? He's not terrible. Noel Acciari. That's going to be a good guy in the bottom six. And so is Matt Nieto. Then we have Drew O'Connor. We have Jeff. I hope that Jeff Carter's got to go. So Jeff Carter be the guy gets walked out the door here. Noel Acciari being a 7. Can he win draws? Where's the faceoffs at? Did they move it? I'm so used to playing. How did this point? 82. That ain't too bad there. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we definitely want to try to pick up a winger. We got to get a +5 on that first unit. I think that's got to happen. When you got Crosby and you got Gensel up there, you should be getting max production out of that unit. And then again, whatever Malkin can do, going around with those players, we can make that work as well. Looking at the defense, again, Erik frickin' Karlsson, Ryan Graves, Chris Letang, Pettersson, Yosa. This is a good defense. I like what I'm seeing here. Maybe Ruedo can be moved around. How's the chemistry look? Let's go in a second unit. That's never going to happen. What's Chris Letang? He's a top 4, actually. They don't even want to be in a top pair, so that's nice. That's nice. I would still... Do we want to entertain that? I mean, maybe Ryan won't be bad. Ryan Graves up there's an interesting one. I like spreading around the wealth as much as anybody, especially when you have 2 right-handed defensemen. That's why, we're going at that direction there. Let's see what it's going to cost us to get a top-line winger first. I think that's what we go here. And, I mean, the pieces might fall together on this defense. I think the defense it's plenty good. Let's see what we can do as far as cap. We have absolutely no cap space, as kind of expected. Is there anybody that we can kind of wiggle around here? Jeff Carter might be somebody we can wiggle around a little bit. Make some cap space. 1.9 is Acciari. Yeah, Carter is making $3 million. That'll definitely open up some things here for the team. We're going to go ahead and send him on over to Arizona. Arizona, how would you feel about Jeff Carter? Knowing that he used to go to Blue Jackets, he's probably going to complain about playing there. But that's all right. That's all right. A little old now. He's a little old. They'd be over the skid organization limit. Okay, you're not going here. Who's got room? Boston. Love to send him to Boston. Give us a 4th, Boston. He looks like he's worth more than a 4th. More than a fourth? Nah, he's not. We'll send it for a fourth. Trade accepted. There you go. That'll work. And now that leaves us again with, let's say 5-6 million, about 5-6 million in cap space. And it's going to cost a little bit for defensemen, so we kind of have to be mindful of that. I'm thinking there's no decent free agents in this area. I mean, there's Jonathan Toews. I wouldn't mind a Jonathan Toews. He wants some money. I think Jonathan Toews would be a nice bottom six guy, though, because I'm not sure how I feel about Achari being up there just yet. Do we have another center? That's the question. Don't want to go out there just throwing money around for fun, but he would hold some trade value, I think, as well. So you have Achari. You have Raquel. Yeah, Raquel can play center, right? 82 draw. Yeah. What's he positioned in this game? Right wing, left wing? Huh. I don't know if that's going to hurt the chemistry or not. He used to play center. No, I didn't know they changed the position a little bit there. Let's take a look. Let's go look. I mean, yeah, we got to do something about that bottom six. I don't like how weak that bottom six is. I think we're bringing Jonathan Toews. At the very least, we can put him on a wing. So we'll sign Jonathan. We'll try to sign Jonathan Toews. He's 1.22. It's not a bad offer or a bad contract. We're kind of looking for there. We'll offer you 1.375. He's going to consider that. We do have to make sure we have the roster space for this guy. So we'll look around here. Make sure we're moving a couple more players than we're receiving. And again, we're looking for that top line winger if possible. But we're looking for everything apparently. Let's look here. Forward. We'll go. I think we're going to go 86 plus. I'd like to get a guy with some playmaking ability, some superstar abilities, I should say. But can we get that for the price we're going to be looking for? That's going to be difficult. Of course, we could probably go. Actually, we can probably go about. Let's try 4 million. Let's try 4. I mean, we can move some more guys around. We have that's the cap space we got. Very few options. Martin H.S., Patrick Kane. Oh, some good options though. Some really good options. Martin H.S., Patrick Kane, Joe Pavelski. Dang, we could have a whole bunch of veterans on this team. Caleb Stevenson. I don't think you can go wrong with Patrick Kane here. He wants to be in the top 6. He wants to be in the top 6. Patrick Kane wants to be forward line 2. Well, Patrick, we'd like you to be on forward line 1, first of all. Second of all, that accuracy on the shot, plenty good to play with Sidney Crosby. Chandler Stevenson would like to be in the top 6. His role is a second line forward. What's Patty Kane's role at least? He's a role as a first line forward. He just doesn't have the chemistry. I think we can make that work, though, with him abilities. And that looks like the best goal scorer. I mean, we got to put a goal scorer with him. We got to put a goal scorer with these guys. I think they're two good playmakers. I mean, Getzel can pot the puck in the back of the net. But we're going to put the best possible players we can around Crosby here. So we're going to go and potentially see if we got any guys with trade value here. It's not looking like it. Jaeger. And that is it. Definitely want to try to move some players if we can. Do you want to get rid of Kapanen? Is that not Kapanen? Oh, it's not Kapanen. I don't know why. Kapanen was here, right? Was he not on Boston or Pittsburgh at one point in time? I thought he was. So we'll throw you on this offer. I'd like to throw another player. How many players we got? 49 contracts. We're going to throw a couple players on this if we can. To kind of open up the roster space. Make sure they do accept that contract when we send it to their way. Who else is going to go? Ruedetto. I mean, eventually Ruedetto is going to go. Ludwig. Should have went by overalls because we're going to drop probably the lowest overall player. But let's go with O'Connor. How's O'Connor look? Defensively, pretty solid. I like O'Connor. Ludwig. Pauline, Alex Nylander. I mean, Nylander's never going to be used. We can move Alex Nylander if they were possibly even willing to entertain that offer. And then we're going to throw some first-round draft picks on here. A couple of them. Oh, they don't even have one this year. Pittsburgh. That's unfortunate. That's a different goal. I don't like that. We're going to throw first and a second for Patrick Kane. Wheel and deal. Detroit's not willing to wheel and deal. It's probably going to cost a lot for them. They just picked this guy up. They like this guy. And we're still barking up the wrong tree. Did that second? Nah, I thought it was bigger there for a second. We can try. They don't have a second next year either. Pittsburgh, you just trade everything away, don't you? That's what happens when you're kind of at the end of the road, I guess, right? You're stretching for things, but we're about to make it worse, Pittsburgh. Apparently we're not, because they don't want to. It's just Patrick Kane. I mean, he's a good player, but I would have signed him. Dang. We're just trying to reunite him with his old friend. I mean, more than 2 firsts for 2.75. This is an overpay in a big way. And they're still not taking it. That's crazy. A 1-year rental. Yeah, you got to fix the game. The trade situation, it's been pretty good this year. But it's not right now. Ain't nobody declining 3 first-round draft picks for a 1-year rental. Nobody. Now when they're 30, what is he, 35? He is 34. Not a chance. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I guess we could drop Nylander. Is that going to make the offer interested? No. What if we drop this guy? Is that going to make it better? Absolutely not. I don't know what to tell you, Detroit. But you're fleecing us in a big way on that. There's no way. I'd fire you right off the bat if he was my GM. Well, let's take a look at, possibly Nachos. Nachos could work as well. Can Nachos score goals? He's not bad. He's average at it. He's a playmaker. He doesn't really fit on the team as much, but we got to make something work here. Pavelski's not as good of a goal scorer. Neither is Stevenson. Brendan Hagel is average. And again, he wants to be a second liner. And he's got it looks like he has no superstar abilities, which is kind of concerning, but he's cheaper. It's really Patrick Kane that we need here. And we're not going to get him, unfortunately. I'm going to do it. I think we're going to do it. We shouldn't do it, but I think we're going to try it one time. We're really going all in here to get one final piece to the puzzle for Pittsburgh. We're going to throw in a first, 3 first and a second. And if you don't take that, I don't know what to tell you, Detroit. What is wrong with you? They're totally unwilling to take that. You're totally unwilling to, like I said, I hope they fire him on the spot. That would be like, that is a fireable offense on the spot if somebody sent me that kind of money for Patrick Kane. Well, we'll try Hagel because we're really limited on our options here. I still think maybe a sniper would be better. Could we get a sniper? I mean, to be fair, like I said, Gensel can do it. Let's look at Gensel's stats real quick. I thought we'd have more options in this, honestly. To see where we're at, it's kind of surprising. Look at Connor Bedard's friggin' value. Good for him. Let's look. I'm hoping he's 90 pluses in the goal scoring department. And oh, he is. Okay, so that's good. We could potentially go playmaker there then. Malkin, you're not gonna play there as much as you'd like that. That's not gonna happen. You know better. You ain't playing with Crosby. You've done that your whole life. And it's worked out pretty well. 3 Stanley Cups. I think you're okay with it. We go back to the forwards. Again, we don't have cap space to try any more than that. I'd like a little bit of wiggle room just in case we need to get a defender. We are improving the bottom 6. We're going to have 2 players upgraded because hopefully if we can get Jonathan Toews, and we're going to have this particular pickup here. Do we look at 85s and over? I don't think it's necessary. But it would be interesting to see what else is out here. Kevin Hayes is a power forward. Does he fit on these lines? No, he doesn't. McTavish doesn't. Duchesne's a second liner. He's average across the board, which isn't bad. His defense could be a little bit better. Hagel is a solid defensive player. I kind of like Hagel. He's a good player. We're gonna try Hagel. Consider us sold on him. He provides a little bit of a two-way ability for this line. He's cheaper, and I'm just hoping that he doesn't get, he doesn't stifle this line by any stretch of the imagination. Now we're gonna go and once again try to drop some of these guys off if we can. Shea, you can go. Nylander, you can go. I don't know if that's gonna hurt the trade or not. We're gonna go ahead and send that, and they're not gonna take that. Okay, so nobody's really wanting to wheel and deal with us today. Nobody's really interested. Let's try a little dinky little fourth. Totally unwilling to part ways. You would think we was asking, what's the trade difficult doing? We put it on super hard today. I think we're being more than fair. Another 1-year rental. Kind of expensive. We'll see what this does to the team. We're going to sim up by a couple of days, see if we did indeed get Jonathan Toews. And we should have space, right? Because that's always a concern. You get going, the space we have. Where's the contracts? Contracts. No, I'm looking for 48 to 50. So we should be good. Hopefully, I'm hoping that's the case. Otherwise, he's going to sign somewhere else. I'm going to be very sad. Let's look. Give me Johnny Toews. Johnny Toews is a tough one. He doesn't like accepting our contracts very often. I don't think he accepted it last time. But we really need that. To not have to trade for a player like Jonathan Toews, that's great. Extremely happy to accept. We needed that one. So we're going to try Hagel, Tays, and Smith together. Sniper and a playmaker in the third line could be a challenge. We're hoping Jonathan Tays' defensive prowess can help them out here a little bit. He doesn't really have the highest defensive numbers. Not terrible though for Johnny Tays though. Where do these guys want to be? Any chance they want to tell us? Third line, second line? They're second line players. That's what's going to be difficult. We don't really have an option here. I mean, we could move Russ down, I guess. What's Russ? Is he two-way forward? He is. Where does he want to be? 5 million. I don't think either one of these. Yeah, neither one of these guys helps that line now. Is what's difficult about that. Unfortunately, Hagel didn't change anything there for that particular line. There's Letang, there's Graves, there's Carlson. I like what we're seeing here defensively. We're going to upgrade the third line a little bit. We're going to do a little third line upgrading. And, I mean, if all else fails here, we might have to ship Riley Smith out the door because he's making $5 million a year. And to be a sniper in that line, I don't know how I feel about that. Definitely a player that can, again, be wiggled around a little bit, I think. And, as far as I'm concerned, that's a bonus. In case all else fails, we're going to go 81 plus, 81, 83. We're going to go contract as cheap as freaking possible, really. Can we get something under 1.5? I'm assuming the options are going to be very limited, especially when you get the veteran defenseman. But we'll see. Caden Gould. He's probably got a year. Oh, no, he does have 2 years left. How's Gould looking? Is he an offensive defenseman? No, he's a two-way guy. Top 4 defensive pairing. I mean, we're going to get that a lot out of these guys, I'd have to assume. Two-way defender. I like Gould better there. Looks like the better defender, pure defender. Even moves the puck around a little bit better. There's Rasmus Sandin. He's defensive pair line 2. Let's talk about Gould. Gould, a young player, 2 years of team control. I mean, that'd be a good pickup for him. Well, the team that's getting older and older by the day, give somebody on that team to be, looked at as a little bit of a cornerstone for the future. Somebody to build around there. We're gonna give you pick up Pickering or send you Pickering. I can't even say his name right. What is it? Pickering? Yeah, it's Pickering. We'd be moving Ruedo, but we could get rid of Will Butcher as well. I also get rid of Will Butcher. I'm gonna open some things up there, leave a little bit of flex. Hang on a second. Let's look at these two stats. Butcher 81, 85, 85. Passing's mediocre, middle of the pack. Looks like he's better. He's not better defensively though, and at this point, that's kind of what we're looking for. So yeah, Butcher, you can go. And what can we give you for this particular player? How about a second of Pittsburgh's? Seems like a lot, and they don't think it is. We're having a hard time making trades today. I'll send you a second and a fourth. It seems like a lot as well, but apparently it's not. I'll give you a second, fourth, and a sixth. I am having a hard time making trades today. There you go. Go to Ross Image. We're going to edit this ourselves so it doesn't remess with everything. And then best AHL lines. We should be able to start playing some games here. Again, it's a Pittsburgh team you don't have to make a lot of moves with. It was kind of in good position already. It was in that do or die sort of phase. And let's make sure that's right. We're going to hit the defense or bottom 6. If anything, that fourth line could use a little bit of work. So we'll monitor that closely. And Gula. Did he go to the AHL? He must have. All right. Consider the deed done. Now the question is, do we want you here or you here? We're going to leave you here. We're going to see how this turns out. It's always a little nerve-wracking keeping the two defensemen separated like that because it's like, it's such a good pair, it could be together. But at the same time, that's kind of what you want is a solid top 4. And I mean, if you're Pittsburgh here, the question is, I think when you look at this team, you say, hey, is the depth there? Because you got a really good top 4 defense, you get a really good top 6 offense. Forward wise, it's just a matter of can you get and it's so important to get that third and fourth line to play some good defense, to put you in position to make a deep playoff run when those goals are a lot more difficult to come across. 4-2, 5-2 in a preseason, kind of a 1-0 to start the season, 2-0 to start the season, 3-0 to start the season, good start to the season. That's what you want to see. You're going to lose in overtime to the Red Wings, give it up a whole lot of goals. Couple games out west, a little bit more difficult. Going to win one in Dallas, going to lose another one out west. Or at home, though, against the Colorado Avalanche, losing that one 7-0. But there we go, getting back on a winning track. Overtime W against the Kings. Really a lot of traveling for Pittsburgh to start the season. It went out west, came back, went out west even further. They're starting the season, though, 13-5, looking like a very good team. What you wanted to see. You didn't want to overdo their lineup. They already had a good put together playoff team. You just wanted to make sure they could take that next step into the season and continue to push through and put themselves in a position to win a Stanley Cup. There's a Minnesota W there. There's a Carolina Hurricanes loss to the Ottawa Senators. Still 28 on the season, 28-5, top of the division. About 30, what is that, 20, 32, 33 games into the season. Give us the chip. Brian Rust, of all players, just leading the team in points. Now, that one was a little bit unexpected, to say the very least. The second liner, so Gensel's got 22. Crosby's got 25. Hagel's got 24. Gensel's the one that's struggling with all of them, but he ain't by any stretch of the imagination struggling. You got 23 out of Lars Eller. You got 26 out of Malkin. You got 30 out of Rust. Third line, I mean, they're playing positive minus Raquel. I was worried about Raquel being again, guy that's a playmaker down there on the bottom six. -5 now. He's not logging a lot of minutes at least. And looking at the defense, looking good. +15, +19. Looks like Marcus Pettersson's not really fit out to be where he is. We're going to move Gould up there, see if that changes things up a little bit. Gould right now +4. Joseph Pettersson is a -4. Both 83 overall is for what that's worth. How are we doing statistically wise? 7 takeaways, 24 giveaways, 35 blocks, 39 hits. Yeah, the takeaways could be a little bit better there. We'll see what that is in comparison to Caden over here. 11 takeaways. Yeah, a few more takeaways. Probably logging a few less minutes as well doing that. Giveaways, modest as well. So we'll see what that does. Take a look at how the goaltender's playing. Make some small changes here. You're already playing stellar. 921 save percentage. So that's going to be the ultimate test here. As our goaltender's not going to play like that all season. So are we going to get the rest of this team to pick up the slack, specifically the offense? The offense should not be below a point per game with the team that we have assembled here. But we're going to take this to the deadline and probably make some last minute, I'm assuming what's going to happen here is we're going to have to move on from Raquel. If Raquel can turn around the season, that'll be great. But if not, we're going to get to that trade deadline and say, all right, we're going to make some moves here. Here we go. Pittsburgh starting to see that offense come together. 8-2 W there. 5-4 against Philadelphia. And the win streak is coming. A little switch up on defense. And this team's feeling like its best self right now. Back-to-back on a win 1 of 2. Not too shabby there. Not too shabby. Would have liked to win the home one, but it's not a big deal. You won on the road. You like that there. Splitting it again there. Minnesota and Winnipeg. We're seeing that a lot here, splitting the back-to-backs out of Pittsburgh. Overall, they've been playing really good. You're getting a couple of days off to play, and they're just winning. Philadelphia's going to steal one from Pittsburgh, 2-1 there in a low-scoring game. But Pittsburgh continues to trek along in a winning fashion. 21 games left, 38-16, playing some good hockey. Now Malkin leads the team in points. You'd like to see that a lot more. You want to see your stars be the stars, and we're getting that now. How's Guentzel doing? Is he bouncing back? 44 points in 61 games played, +17. Crosby, 56 points in 61 games played, +26. And then 50 out of Hagel. So very similar. And now we're seeing Malkin kind of carrying the load there. Rust is playing outstanding. 57 points. Good for Rust. Forgot we had Lars Eller chilling in that second line as an 82 overall. Really? All things considered, Lars Eller could be moved down to that line. 19 points, 22. Oh, and we could make our own trade here. I'm worried about dropping that overall in that chemistry point, especially the way the rest are playing. But Lars Eller's clearly, 43, 44 points is the weak link of that line. And you potentially bring in a goal scorer and Riley Smith to play with this team. You bump up that bottom 6. Was it Raquel that was struggling, or was it Riley Smith? It was Raquel, so you're still worried about that. You'd also like to get somebody in the bottom 6. I think we're going to bring in somebody else. And we're going to keep Raquel, though, just in case. I'm a little bit worried about, going too all in here. I mean, this team's playing really good. It looks like Gould's a +1. It looks like Pettersson, he liked that move to the bottom pair. That worked out really well for him. From +4 to +10, playing a lot better hockey. Do we want to change this? Do we want to change what we're seeing here? I mean, things are working. You don't want to over pursue things when they're working. I see the weakness. I'm looking at it, but I know in the past, if we overstack these teams, the chemistry it dissipates a little bit. And I think we have the abilities in the team. 2.87 goals against. I mean, 83 points. Carolina's right on our tails. You want to win the Stanley Cup. You want to make every move possible. Second place in the entire NHL here, just 2 points away from, and really, they're all up in that President's Trophy. I mean, they got a couple games in hand on Vegas right now, a couple games in hand on just about everybody. This is stressful. This is difficult. Pittsburgh. This is where we need some feedback. If you was GM right here, you making that move? Are you making that move? Or are you too worried about getting fancy and getting cute? I think what we can do is I like Achari. I had a soft spot for Achari. I think he's a good bottom six kind of player. I think what we can do is potentially make a move and switch it back if it doesn't work. I'm worried about it, though. I am a little bit worried about it. We're going to take a look. See if we can boost up this bottom line here. Leave a little bit of flexibility. Worst comes to worst. Like we said, we just put bench the guy if it doesn't work out. Let's go. What do we want to go about? 80. I want to try about an 82 range here. 81, 82. I mean, it'd be nice to have an 82 probably. Let's try 81, 82. And we'll put the cap. It's got to be cheap. It's got to be dumb cheap. I don't know what kind of money we have, but it's not a lot. We have 3 million in cap space. Actually, we have a little bit to work with here, but we don't need to. Again, we don't need to overpay for this particular position. It's a fourth line guy. Jack Quinn's not going to be a nice sniper. Two-way forward in the Wastrom. He's a top six guy. He wants to be a third line checking player. Keliev, negative. What do you got for us here? Shane Pinto, two-way forward. He fits the role that we're looking for here. Fourth line. Let's talk about Pinto here. See if we can move him on over. A little bit of trade value. Never hurt nobody, though. Will give us the extra contract. We're just going to straight draft pick him. We're going to send him a second. I mean, we can keep Pittsburgh's first round pick for next year. I mean, I think we did all right with not, sending away the entire farm and still trying to build a winner. We don't need to give up a third round pick for him either. I don't think. I think we get away with probably a fifth, really. Really not, apparently. Let's try fourth. Oh no, we did get rid of a draft pick. My mistake. I was gonna say I thought we got rid of one. That's 2 years from now. So I mean, still one draft pick ain't terrible. We're gonna think of a third. It looks like though as well. I'll give you a third. There you go. Ooh. They pulling teeth over here in Ottawa. They're 26 and 27. You just take what we give you, I think. There we go. Let's set this bad boy up. Everything is in position the way we want it to be, minus at this fourth line. And the question is, are we benching Achari? I didn't even look to see if this guy played center. That would have been a good thing to do. Anybody else play center besides Achari? That was kind of a silly decision. Let's see what we got here. Oh, he does play center. Oh, we got bailed out. All right, so we're going to try that. And I'm hoping that's the answer here. Make a couple of subtle moves on this team, but nothing too serious throughout the season. And take this team in the playoffs, take this team to potentially win a Stanley Cup in Pittsburgh. I think it's, again, you add a couple of these moves for the bottom, for the depth. And really, it wasn't even depth pickups besides, we made two, I guess. It wasn't depth pickups as much as, improving the top six and pushing some guys down to the bottom six that are great players. And all of a sudden, that was a terrible decision. This team's just losing everything. Are we done doing that? Can we stop losing hockey games, please? That would be great. We're still in first place somehow, but that got ugly. That got ugly really quickly. That was not the answer. Achari on the bench was not the answer. I apologize, Pittsburgh. I apologize. It won't happen again. My mistake. We was wrong for that. Oh, I'm afraid to look. I mean, cold streaks happen. That's the thing. Was it a cold streak? Was it a coincidence? Or did Pinto come in here and... No, look at that. Plus 11. But was that for this team or for both teams? I think it was for... Nice, plus 5 on our team. And he did good. I like what he brought to the table here. He improved that line. I think, was it the third line that struggled still? No, Raquel back up to the plus 2. Again, you know what happens? Sometimes you hit a cold spell. Your goalie doesn't play the best. Your forwards aren't scoring as much. Riley Smith has 34 points now. I can't quite remember what he is at, but Malkin's still leading the team in points. Russ still playing well. So I think those lines are all right. Was the defense struggling? No, they look like they're all right. Let's jump into this. Maybe the goaltender. Again, goaltender could have just had a tough outing or two. Down to 9-14. More realistic, kind of what you expected out of Rust and company here. Let's take a look at the standings. See where we are sitting. Looks like we got Rangers, Hurricanes, and Blue Jackets squeaking into playoffs this season. Could be an easier division to get through. 102 points, Rangers 101, Hurricanes 97. Just kidding. Jeez, I don't know what I was thinking. That's going to be at least the winner of the Rangers, Hurricanes is going to be knocked out. Penguins are going to have a chance to play the Blue Jackets? Blue Jackets with 95 points. Blue Jackets got a good season. 3.24 goals for. Goals against was kind of high. You don't want to see it up there. For the most part, not bad. Vegas did win the Presidents. Penguins did upset second best team in the league. Vegas kind of separated itself from everybody else, but everything else kind of even keel here. Let's try and jump into this. See what we got in the first round. Hopefully, somebody easy, because playoffs should be like that. You should get a first round free win. I feel like that should be a thing. It's going to be, oh yeah, that's a free win. That's my Blue Jackets. They don't get any freer than that. 1-1. Blue Jackets going to steal one in Pittsburgh. Got to be careful here. Blue Jackets can make some noise. Blue Jackets might play upset here. Going to play a crucial Game 5 back at home in Pittsburgh. They're going to jump ahead to a 3-2 series lead. Blue Jackets trying to stay in this one. Game number 6. I did not mean to do that. We're going to get through this real quickly. Penguins up 2-0. Penguins up 2-1 off Voronikov goal. And Penguins going to get the insurance. Lars Eichel with empty net. Chris Letang or Sidney Crosby with the goal. And Penguins going to advance to the second round of the playoffs. Here we go. Penguins going to see nobody. We got a long extended break here, it looks like. Going to see the Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes going to beat up on the New York Rangers. See if the Penguins can go ahead and walk through Carolina. Going to be a tough team to play. Series split 1 apiece. Losing in overtime in game number 1, but bouncing back in a big win game number 2. Holding Carolina to just 1 goal. Going to blank the Carolina Hurricanes. 7-0. Pittsburgh starting to gain a little bit of momentum. There's 8. All of a sudden, they have dropped 15 goals in the last 2 games against what is usually a really good Carolina Hurricanes defense. Pittsburgh is going to end it, though, shutting out the Carolina Hurricanes, and it didn't even feel close. It went 6, but it didn't feel like it should have. Boston, now that's going to be a challenge. Boston going to be the road team here, it looks like, to start the series. Penguins going to have home field or home ice advantage in this round. Here we go. Game 1 W. Game 2 loss. We've seen this a lot with Pittsburgh. Splitting the series at home to start it, but then they kind of grasp things on the road. They're going to do it once again here. 5-2 W against the Boston Bruins in Boston. They're going to win 2 straight in Boston. Head back home. They have a chance to win in home and continue. They have to win 1 of 3. They lose game number 1. It's a 3-2 series. Back to Boston we go, where Pittsburgh has played really well, is on the road in this particular playoff run. And there it is again, 2-1, locking them down. They have a challenge in the Stanley Cup Finals. It is the Colorado Avalanche. Your reigning, well, close to reigning, defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche. See what they can do here with 7 games to go. Possibly Pittsburgh's only got to win 4 of them, though. We can win game number 1, 7-4. Here we go. Game 2. Pittsburgh's then split in the first 2, and they do it once again. But if history repeats itself, Pittsburgh's going to win this series, walk away with the Stanley Cup at 2-0. Blank job in game number 3. Here we go. Game number 5, a crucial one here at home. Got to beat Colorado. Got to stay ahead. I don't know if Pittsburgh's really never been down in a series this late in a series yet. We'll see if they can continue that momentum. Now, Vladimir Nishushkin with the goal, and Tristan Jarry to start this game. Okay, then. Colorado's going to pull ahead here. Colton with the goal. Cogliano, the ex-Pittsburgh Penguin with the goal there. Here we go. Penguins have got to get something going. Colorado pours on the insurance goal. Nasty Nate with the goal. And it looks like the Penguins are going to have to try to live the fight another day. Colorado's going to jump ahead to a 3-2 series lead, and they are a win away from knocking off the Pittsburgh Penguins and winning a Stanley Cup, and they could do it on home ice. Ever so exciting of a place to do it. Here we go. Period 1. Penguins going to jump ahead early. Jake Gensel with the goal on Georgiev. See if they can continue that. It's going to stay close and tight. Pittsburgh, when they need the wins, they've locked it down defensively, kept the series close. Colorado on a power play. Pittsburgh going to kill it off. Yari making some big saves there. There's the insurance goal by the Penguins. It is Evgeny Malkin from up top. They just need to hold on, protect this lead for 7 more minutes, and we're going to see this one go to a Game 7 in Pittsburgh. Definitely set up to be an exciting one, and that is what's going to happen here in this one. It looks like we've seen shots were 36 Colorado, 34 Pittsburgh. Pretty evenly fought game. Tristan Jarry once again playing stellar, though. We've seen Jarry do this throughout the playoffs, seen him do it throughout the season, where he's got the ability to just put this team on his back. Game 7, Pittsburgh, Colorado. Winner takes the Stanley Cup. Here we go. Period number 1. Colorado jumps ahead to the 3-1 lead early. Miles Wood, there's a name. McKinnon with the goal, and Nichushkin with the goal. Brian Rust with the goal. Here we go. Period number 2. Pittsburgh has got to figure something out. Not going to do it on a penalty kill. There we go. Good kill there by the Penguins. Hopefully a little bit of momentum. Couple shots there on Georgiev. Nothing doing. Another power play for the Avs. Nothing doing. Penguins power play. Going to get a goal on the power play. Evgeny Malcolm of Colorado answers right back. Well, they go by O'Connor, but Hago answers right back. Pittsburgh staying in this one, fighting and clawing, not letting that lead get too big here, keeping it within 1. We're going to head to the 3rd period. 1-goal game. Pittsburgh needs to put 1 in. Georgiev is standing on his head early in this one. It has been all Penguins to start this period, and they came up empty-handed. The momentum killer. Landeskog puts 1 in the back of the net on Tristan Jarry, and Pittsburgh finds themselves reeling in a big way. Georgiev, locked and loaded, is in the zone. Big save there by Tristan Jarry in a slot on Devin Tays. Pittsburgh's got to figure something out and figure it out quickly. Not look like it's going to happen. Give credit where credit's due. Georgiev stood on his head in this final period and kept his team up front. Penguins going to get the goal late, but it's not going to be enough. The 1 goal by Crosby. Penguins going to lose by 1 goal. And they're going to come up 1 goal. They're going to come up 1 win short of winning the Stanley Cup with this team. But I tell you what, you make a Stanley Cup run, you make it the Game 7, at least you still want to come away with the championship. I'd say at least you got a little bit of your money's worth. It wasn't a first round exit, it wasn't a second round exit. You went the full 9 yards with this team. Art Ross, Nikita Kucherov, Moro, Nikita Kucherov, McCarthy, and Norris. Playing against that Norris with a Panarin with the Lady Bing. Bedard got the Calder. Conn Smythe with the McKinnon. Olmark actually won the Vezina and the Jennings. I was wondering where that may have possibly went there. Jack Adams went to Nichols. Lindholm got the Franklin J. The Lindsay went to Nikita Kucherov. Had an outstanding season. Nonetheless, that is going to wrap things up for this video. As always, if y'all enjoyed it, I'd appreciate you liking, subscribing. You never have to. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.